Well, good afternoon, Neil. Look, we're in Florida and it is summer, so we all know storms pop up left and right here. And actually, just this morning, we've already had 4 lightning warnings pop up here for the Kennedy Space Center. And there's more weather headed our way tomorrow.
They're talking about launching a rocket tomorrow.
Show. This is Artemis on its pad. It's the strongest rocket set for an unmanned journey around the moon, going further than any other human spacecraft. And the focus is to do a stress test on it. So tomorrow, there's a 60% chance of weather that is suitable for its launch to do these tests. And they'll have 2 hours to lift off starting at 2:17 in the afternoon. Their weather officer says the conditions should get better towards the end of that 2-hour window, increasing to an 80% chance of favorable weather.
The weather is everything for launch. It really is. One of the biggest threats to the rocket is the terrestrial weather that it will travel through before getting to space. Essentially, a lightning strike could do a major amount of damage to a rocket. So most of our weather rules are based on not launching through an existing thunderstorm or triggering your own lightning strike.
All right, so tomorrow they're going to be looking out for cumulus clouds that could suddenly create storms, but they're also going to be paying attention to the surface electric field rule, which measures the chance that Artemis could actually produce its own lightning while launching. Now, and that could also do a lot of damage to the rocket, and it's actually happened twice before in NASA's history. So we'll be keeping an eye on the weather tomorrow, and, you know, if this does end up in a storm, hoping it doesn't, they'll have another window on Monday afternoon. Neil?
And you'll have a very, very nice seat in the house to get.
There we go, Patriots. You think it's going to go tomorrow to the moon?
I want to go to Harrison Smith, what he makes of this. You remember that name, don't you? He's the last man alive that walked on the moon. He and Gene Cernan did it with Apollo 17. So when you talk about our returning to the moon after 50 years, they were the last guys to do it. Harrison, kind enough to join us now. Harrison, we're going back. A lot of people look at this and say, wait a minute, we saw Harrison and Gene, we saw the other Apollo crews, been there, done that, do we need to do this? What do you say?
Well, Neil, it's great to be with you.
Same here.
Once again. I think there are 2 primary reasons. One is geopolitical. There's no question the Chinese have their eyes on the moon, and I have their intentions on becoming the dominant spacefaring and earthfaring nation in the world. So we have to keep that in mind, just as we did for Apollo when we were dealing with the Soviet Union. The other reason, though, is that there's still a great deal to be learned about the Earth through learning about the moon, as well as just about the moon itself. And so the Artemis program is designed in order to expand our knowledge of the moon, particularly of the South Pole region, where we have many opportunities not only to understand some of the rocks that have been thrown there from this South Pole Aiken Basin, which is one of the largest basins on the moon, but also to better understand the resource potential the moon offers, not only for
Please subscribe, Patriots,
cislunar space, for space stations,
for more
trips to
breaking
Mars and
news.
the like, but also for potential power resources for use here on Earth. You've heard me talk about helium-3, and that is the primary fuel for fusion power.
You know, Harrison, I was thinking of you, though, when you mentioned China at the outset. We have a lot of companies
Harrison
that will return up to space in a big way.
The oldest man alive to walk on the moon.
Russia and so many other countries, Japan, even Iran, that have pursued space. But China in particular, with its moves to establish a station, with its activity on the far side of the moon, do you suspect all their intentions are scientific, are for the good of exploration?
Well, that made it very clear that their intentions are
Stay
dominant.
tuned to see if they launch it tomorrow. If not, they said Monday.
Some exploration of the far
Going back to the moon, Patriots.
And other activities
50 years later.
But they've made it very clear here on Earth what their
Please subscribe to see
A lot
more.
of people look at what they've done in the South China Sea, Harrison, where they have
Thank you for watching.
They don't even own. And
See you next time.
doing that on the moon, it
And thanks to all the new Patriots who subscribed.
You have to wonder.
God bless everybody.
It's pretty clear what they're going to do, Neil.
Do you worry about that?
Well, I've been worried about that for decades.
Yeah, actually, you were.
And many other people have. just
Yeah, go ahead.
no. I've been worried about it. Many other people have, but unfortunately,
Do you think they'll find a man on the moon?
Is really not focused on this issue. It's not just space. It's China in general.
So China is now.
I think they'll find him.
Weaponizing space.
How about the cat and the
Well,
fiddle?
I think they already have. As you well know, they've done anti-satellite launches. They've created a great deal of debris in space, which
They're going to
every
look for the
nation
cow
is trying
too.
to operate satellites in space. So they're not very careful about how they deal with space. And it's
They're
clear
going to see
that
if the cow jump
they
over
have
the moon.
weaponized it, and they are going to. Now, space is clearly part of our national security regime. That we must
Subscribe
have.
to see if they do. Find the cow.
They are involved in that and trying to create what we sometimes call
And thank you
an
for
asymmetric,
watching.
problem for our defense system.
Harrison, finally, and it's the question on everyone's mind. 50 years ago on the moon, with Gene Cernan, you guys were singing, and a lot of people were wondering who had the worst singing voice. Gene said you did. I think you said he did. But it was a great moment.
I've never made a comment on the singing voices, either one of us.
You most certainly have. You only confirmed the fact you both sang at the time, but no one ever else did.
Well,
no one did that. No one
This
did
time
that.
they're going to sing the Police.
Walking
on the moon.
Every time I heard a phrase that reminded me of a song, I'd start to sing that song.
I thought you had a good voice. I thought Gene did as well. Harrison, you were an iconic figure, a hero. I remember it well. It's so great to have you back. And you must be excited to see
Well, it's great to have the 50th anniversary coming up.
Absolutely. One more.
God bless. Subscribe.